Right then, welcome back to my hotel room. Here's 5 things that we learn. I'm, as you're watching this, heading on a flight over to San Diego. We are done now with New York and New Jersey. We are in San Diego. We'll be staying there for the Wrexham game. We're going to dip over to LA. So if you're in San Diego or LA and you want to come hook up, let us know in the comments before we head over to Las Vegas. But here's the 5 things that we learned watching Manchester United beat Arsenal. Number 1, Kobbie Mainoo. The kid is a star. It's a case now of how do we manage his development into a first-team player at Manchester United. But the potential is there. The kid is a star. There isn't an attribute he doesn't have. He was playing centrally. He was playing as an inverted right back. He's going to save United tens of millions of pounds for the centre midfielder that we do not need to buy because he will become it. His elevation into the team with the promise that he is showing could prove invaluable this season because it's an area of the pitch that we couldn't find anyone to effectively replace Casemiro, even on a game-by-game basis. It's just like one game in 6, someone come in because Casemiro's either injured, suspended, whatever. Give him the night off. Now, if you can choose that, looking at the, you go, okay, like Luton at home, that might be the game that you decide Casemiro can have a break here. There are games, right? I know, bro, no easy games in the Premier League, right? I get that. There's an element of that, right? But if Kobbie Mainoo is the only one that is going to be brought into what is the rest of it a very, very strong 11 from Manchester United, he will cope. He's showing you that right now, playing alongside the first team players and doing a bloody good job of whatever it is that he's asked to do, playing it simple, moving the ball around, just playing with a level of maturity that you're not meant to have at this age. He really needs to be managed correctly, and I think United have got a huge decision. I don't think they're going to send him on loan. And that could be a mistake, but it also could be a mistake keeping him here, not playing him, not allowing him to develop game time. He needs to play games to develop. You got a big decision here. You either give him the games here or you give him the games elsewhere, but he needs the games. So where's he going to get him here? He's getting him there. Which one is it? That's how you're going to manage the potential that he's got into the end product player that we hope that he can become. Number 2, Sancho burst. So Sancho had a burst to break away and he finished clinically and he finished coolly. He looked a lot sharper yesterday. He was very, very tidy, very secure in possession. We also saw, or at least I saw, quite a bit of desire for him to go and win the ball back after he'd lost it. Very, very reactive once he'd lost possession. I thought he held the ball up well. He drew fouls. My issue here with Sancho, and I sort of touched on this in the review that I did with the fan channel, is he's out here on tour. He's just had a decent little shift in there against Arsenal. He's doing it out of position. So how is he meant to convince the manager of anything if he doesn't get the opportunity to start in the position that he's going to be effective in? You know, you saw Anthony coming in off the right-hand side and having multiple opportunities. One of those should have resulted in a goal and none of them did. Anthony's getting the opportunity to play on the right-hand side in this. Where's Sancho going to fit in? At the moment, Garnacho's playing there and Marcus is up front because we don't have a striker. Sancho's playing in the false 9 because he can play in the false 9, but as soon as we get a striker, do you think there's going to be any use for Sancho in the false 9? You're going to have to find a solution for him. And at the moment, he isn't getting experience in a position that he's going to be useful in. And that worries me a little bit. So I'd be really interested to see what he's able to go and do, if he's able to try and nail down a position that's actually going to be of use to us once the season starts. Unless we are going to have this second formation of a bit of a diamond with Sancho at the tip of it in our pocket, which is entirely plausible as well. Number 3, Mount settling in. So I don't think we've seen the best of him. I certainly don't think he's been poor, but I don't think we've also seen the best of him. I felt like there was times where he was still trying too hard, a little bit like, I better impress here because, you know what I mean? And I think he was trying to slow the game down a little bit, and rather than keep kicking up the tempo, because I think the Arsenal side was happy with the tempo that the game was being played at, and I think as soon as United quickened it, we looked dangerous and we looked like it was going to give him a problem. He's a very front foot thinking player, which isn't a bad thing, but in the system, he'll have to improve how he keeps hold of the ball, where he moves it to. He's just been slotted in right now in the Christian Eriksen position, which is the deeper lying playmaker alongside the more destructive player at the moment. It's Kobbie Mainoo. And maybe there's a reason that he's maybe a little bit wary playing with a young player. Has he got a bit of an eye on bringing him through as well as his own performance? Would he improve when it's just Casemiro alongside him? I think you're going to start to see that soon. Maybe even against Real Madrid, you might start to see the teams kind of start shaping up a little bit. But his work rate can't be faulted. It's a new role that he's not familiar with. So this isn't me criticising him. This is me saying there will be a settling in period for him. But he looks good. He looks like a Manchester United player. And I think there's a lot of positives to take from his game. Number 4, Arteta needs more money, doesn't he? Most valuable squad in the world. Definitely needs more backing. 100 million for Declan Rice. Did he play today? Did he do anything? What did you pay £100 million for? Yes, pre-season. Yes, first game. Cool. United players don't get that sort of allowance, do they? Certainly not when they cost £100 million. You expect them to absolutely deliver, and I'll be honest, Declan Rice did not do that. Havertz, what was the question that you thought Havertz was going to be the answer to? I didn't understand that signing. I don't understand that signing. Don't see where he fits in. The pressure and expectation, because Arsenal fans are nuts, aren't they? Right? The pressure and the expectation is on him, and Arsenal have not been elevated with their purchases. Now, I think Declan Rice probably is an advancement on Xhaka, but we ain't seen it yet. Like, last season you were second to a good City side, but you phoned in every other competition. You're not going to be allowed to phone in every other competition this season. Have you been elevated? Are you capable of competing on multiple fronts? I think not, and I don't think you're going to prove me wrong either. I think you're going to struggle to get inside the top 4 this year. And number 5, Tom Heaton shout out. Since Tom's been at United, he hasn't had enough game time, in my opinion. And I don't know why we signed the likes of Butland to be number 2 over him. I don't know why we needed to do that. I thought he was in brilliant form against Arsenal. He was top, genuine quality. Not, didn't he do a nice job? No, he was good. He was genuinely good. Double save early in the game, probably won it for us. Distribution looked good. Safe hands. Serious professional. I could understand if Tom wanted to go and play Premier League football, because he probably could. But if he stays at Manchester United, the only reason is because he loves the club. And I think he's probably been a little bit unfairly treated while United have been trying to figure out the David De Gea situation. There was opportunities in cup competitions that they didn't give him. There was opportunities in league competition that they didn't give him either. But interesting to see what happens with him. Maybe came to United at the wrong time. He was a first-choice Premier League goalkeeper, and whoever sold him the dream of how much he would play at United, I think they did him dirty, because he was more than good enough to carry on playing elsewhere in the Premier League. But guy's a United fan, wanted to play for United. Can't really argue with that, can you? But well done to Tom Heaton. Onana signing. I want to sit here and make light of the situation. Like, Onana's probably going to put a bit of pressure on Tom. Let's be honest, Onana's the number 1, isn't he? And if they sign Suzuki possibly makes the number 2. But it should be Tom. Well, Suzuki learns his trade a little bit. Even see if he's good enough. And Kovar in the mix. United got some decent options as a goalkeeper. But yeah, good professional in Tom. United lad, United Academy lad. And good to see him playing some games. So well done, Tom. That's it from me. Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comments below, and what you want to see from United in the next game. I'll see you in the next one. Laters.
Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.